And also, by the way, the name that is listed the most in these files and talked about the most is Donald Trump. And of all the people that Jeffrey Epstein talked to in the world, and it looks like this guy got around, and there are millions of files, and Donald Trump's name is mentioned many, many times, up to a million. Some are speculating through the searches. There's only one person that Jeffrey Epstein described as his best friend, and that's Donald Trump. But the effort since this summer, and I want to just walk you through the timeline, has been to avoid this at all costs on the Republican side. They refused to swear in Adelita Grijalva when she would have been the person that got the Epstein discharge over the goal line. During the summer, they were willing to shut down the government because they didn't want these files to be released. And again, the Department of Justice won't release all of the files now, and many of them, are redacted, and only about 50% have come forward. It's a cover-up job at the Department of Justice, but we're not going away.
And certainly Trump's name has been in there quite a lot, and he has not been accused of any wrongdoing, but certainly it raises questions the way that this release has happened, as you noted, from the survivors themselves who have been on this show and have asked why it's being handled this way and why some names are redacted, others aren't, and this letter lists reasons why the Justice Department redacted information that goes beyond the requirements of the law passed by Congress compelling the Epstein files release. Many members of Congress say that's unacceptable, but what recourse do you actually have at this point?
Well, to keep taking the Department of Justice to court, I'd recommend that in the next round of funding for the Department of Justice, we withhold funding until they get this right. And I was a former sexual assault prosecutor in California, and you don't have to have done that job to understand why this is important. But when I talk to Californians, this is one of the most important issues to them. The Epstein files are not just about documents. Many people see this as a final exam for democracy. Either the most powerful people in Washington are going to hold to account these monsters, or they're going to protect them. And right now, I think you're better off if you're on the side of the victims and transparency rather than to do anything to protect the people who may have been at fault.
All right, I want to turn to this partial shutdown. The Department of Homeland Security ran out of funding over the weekend as Democrats like yourself demand sweeping reforms to ICE. I want to watch what White House borders are. Tom Homan told my colleague Jake Tapper yesterday.
ICE has continued to enforce law across the country. They're already funded. Now, the ICE officers won't be getting paid, but they're getting used to that, it seems like. So, no, the immigration mission, the reason why President Trump was elected